What's going on, everyone? Andrew here again with TRP Exclusive, and today we are going to be talking about the country of Kenya. Now, Kenya has been in the news recently for some pretty negative things concerning doping and performance-enhancing drugs abuse. And in fact, right now they have 60 athletes that are currently serving bans because of this systematic issue that is happening in the beautiful country of Kenya. But despite this terribly negative thing, there are a lot of positives that came out of the country this season, but there's also a lot of negatives in addition to the doping issues. So to start off on a more positive note, I wanted to talk about how the Kenyan men absolutely dominated the World Marathon Majors this season. They won all 6 races, from Evans Chebet, Amos Kipruto, and Eliud Kipchoge running very, very well this season. They were next to unbeatable, and also Kipchoge broke the world record. That was amazing. But outside of road racing this season, they could not have had a more inversely negative kind of performance than what they had in this year's World Marathon Majors. This season, Kenyan men only won 4 medals, which is the lowest performance from Kenya since 2005. Typically, Kenyan men are going to win between 15 and 20 medals, as they are amazing in distance running, but also have some middle distance events that they are very talented at. But for one reason or another, things just didn't quite come together this season. From Timothy Cheruiyot not performing very well, from losing the 3,000-meter steeplechase, which is very uncommon, to various sprinting prospects just not performing well, things just didn't quite go as planned for Kenya. But I think there's more to this story than meets the eye. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Ferdinand Omanyala, who is actually one of only 2 athletes to beat Fred Kerley this season, had a very, very complicated journey just to get to the starting line, as he was actually delayed in the airport for hours and hours. And the story goes that he only arrived in Oregon just a few hours before his race, and yet, despite being super jet-lagged and having many issues when it comes to performing and getting ready, he still qualified into the semifinals. But unfortunately, this sub 9.80 second performer was not able to make it to the finals, which was certainly expected of him this year, so that was another big event that I think had a lot of potential for Kenya, but he just wasn't quite able to reach that because of these traveling issues. Now, I'm not exactly sure what other travel issues various other Kenyan athletes had this year to get to the World Finals, but it seems like it was a systematic problem, and I'm not exactly sure why, so I really do think that played a large negative role this season at the World Championships. The only male athlete from Kenya that won the gold medal was Emmanuel Korir this year in the 800 meters, who ran sub 144 and performed very well, but outside of that you had a lot of athletes just not performing well. So 2022 for Kenya had some massive highs with distance running glory in the marathon, terrible lows with other athletes getting banned, and then some more negative issues when it came to World Championships and performing well. It just seems like there is so many issues currently happening in Kenya right now that it's difficult to sift through a lot of the information and get down to the actual truth. So I hope that moving into 2023, we can see Kenya find a good balance. We can find a way to balance out the scales when it comes to systematic doping issues, and track and field athletes can once again get to the meet on time, especially the biggest event in the entire year, the World Championships. The more I think about it, the more it's kind of ridiculous that these big-time athletes weren't even able to get to the race on time. It's just ridiculous, especially Ferdinand Omanyala, who is the greatest sprinter in Kenyan history. In fact, look at this performance list right here. Omanyala is unquestionably the GOAT when it comes to Kenyan sprinting, as is abundantly clear in the 100 meters. Anyways, I just wanted to do kind of a 2022 summary for the country of Kenya. There's so much going on right now, in addition to the doping issues, so hopefully next year they can get into better light. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.